Kick your shoes off, take a load off. Don't go nowhere till the show's off. Oh, you know it's gonna be a movie when you got Cletus Cassidy on your TV. Yeah, already know Mr. Funny Man. Coming to you and making you laugh again. Started off on the radio, now we got the Cletus Cassidy Show. Funny Man, coming to you and making you laugh again. Started off on the radio, now we got the Cletus Cassidy Show.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another edition of See You in the Morning. I am, of course, your host, Cletus Cassidy, and don't eat my banana toast. I just feel like there's just no way for a man to do that correctly. I just think that as a man, and I know it's a banana, but I just think you can't take the whole banana to the head. You just can't do it. You just can't. You gotta break it up. Cut it up into little pieces. Mush that thing down into a pudding if you need to. You got to make chips out of it. Every time I've been to the hospital, for whatever reason, my potassium has been low. So I try to eat potassium. I take a potassium pill every day, and I try to eat a banana a day. But I never just eat the banana. Not catching me out there like that. So there's bananas and popsicles. Hard for men to eat. But when I tell you, ladies, it's hard out here being a man. That's just one of them things, man. Like, we can't even enjoy regular food. A banana, a popsicle, just no way. There's no way you viewed as the same man if you put that banana in your mouth. Just can't do it. Can't do it. Welcome to See You in the Morning. My horrible idea to get up in the morning and just tell y'all way too much of my personal business. It's just way too much personal business is what I'm giving you. It's what I do. But I'm excited to be here with y'all again on today. Monday's amazing. Now, if this is your first time hearing this, you're about to experience something so cold if you've watched this show before. You found it not robbery to turn in and watch again. Well, I thank you, because you could have been anywhere in the world, but you chose to be here with me. So I'm excited about that. This show is you never know what's gonna happen up. See, you never know you're gonna get a produce review when you first turn into my show. You didn't know that. It just happened. That's what this show is. Anything can happen on this show. You can catch me on the show having breakfast. That was my breakfast this morning. You caught me having my breakfast. That's what you did. One thing about this show that happens the same way every time is I thank all the people for coming on, and I say good morning to everybody. If you say good morning to me, I'm gonna say good morning back. The first 3 people that say good morning to me win the mythical medals, the morning mythical medals. And let me go ahead and give those away before we get into today's show. It probably won't be a long show today, and once I start the show, you'll understand why. And if you don't understand why, I really don't care. All right. Today, the bronze medal goes to the wonderful, fantastic, the amazing Miss Franita Rollins. Big shout out to Franita. That's Frank's daughter. The silver goes to, I think, her cousin, actually. It's TT, Crystal Purnell. Tiny and tasty is what she is. And the gold medal goes to, she got GM on her thing. Not only does it mean good morning, it means gold medal for Kim Cat Thomas Jones. So gold medal goes to Kim, silver to Crystal, the bronze to Franita. Also, here's IDA. And then we start going into the alliteration with Betty Burnett, BB. Then we got PP. Good morning, Patricia. Good morning, Lynette. Trouble is in the building. Marche, Lisa's here. My man Jeff, no longer in Texas. Didn't even let me know he was in town. Didn't even call me. That's how people do. They don't even call you to tell you they in town. Sasha, good morning. Bom dia. Lakeisha, Ms. Riddick, good morning. Tiffany Stewart is in the building. Alabama Pow. Good morning, Alabama. Roll Tide. And if you are actually an Auburn fan, then I'm gonna ask you to go ahead and log out. Log on out. Good morning, Shannon. Good morning. Good morning. Michelle McKinney, Eminem. Good morning, Michelle McKinney. What we talking about? Baby painting. We're not talking about that. What's up, Steve? What's up, Lamont Cherry? That's my guy. Michelle, we're not talking about that. So here's the thing. I don't always catch on to everything that's hot on social media. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I didn't watch the whole who TF did I marry. I didn't watch all that. For those people who sat down and watched 4 hours of who TF did I marry, if you need something to watch that bad, I have a whole series on BT Plus that y'all can tune into. It's called Churchy. Let us get those ratings. Y'all watch that show. Y'all watch that lady. It was a train wreck. I ain't gonna lie, I watched maybe the first 10 to 15 minutes. And I realized that it was going to be horrible. I realized it was going to be a train wreck. The young man's name is Legion. That ain't it. Alabama said, I do know to say Roll Tide. So that's it. I didn't watch all that. I didn't do it. And I guess the watch of the weekend, now that everybody's over that, is the new Tyler Perry special movie, Mea Culpa. Mea Culpa. I want to say it's Mea. I'm gonna have to lean to the knowledge of Lakeisha on that. Lakeisha is our bilingual lady. She knows all the languages. She's the one in here that's bi. So we need to lean on her. Mea Culpa. Mea Culpa. And now everybody's talking about that. Apparently, Tyler Perry went from transvestite movies straight into porn. Our show on BET Churchy was number 3 behind All the Queens Men and Sisters. We were the number 3 show. Mea Culpa. So we were number 3 behind those. We can't beat sex. You can't put Jesus up against sex. I'm telling y'all that right now. Jesus might have paid it all, but he cannot beat sex. When he invented sex, you listen. When God went and became the original Trey Songz, you gonna think I invented sex? Yep. When he did that, which one of y'all? Which one of y'all? You can't beat sex. If you got a sex show out, ain't nobody. And from what I understand about All the Queens Men, it's nothing but sex and murder. You can't beat that. You can't come and be like, "Hey, watch this Jesus show." You can't do it. You can't do it. So now, apparently, this Mea Culpa show, it was nothing but sex. It was Kelly Rowland and sex. Beyonce would never. And Kelly Rowland has always been my favorite member of Destiny's Child. She's always been the cutest to me. I always found Kelly Rowland to be the cutest. I liked her. It was always her. Then whatever replacement one. That third member of Destiny's Child was always, there was a rotating door over there. And then Beyonce. So we couldn't beat them. My weekend in review. Weekend was pretty lax this weekend. I had a lot going on. I had some community service to do. It's so crazy that I be doing community service so much. I'm about to stop serving the community. I'm starting to feel real hoish. I serve the community way too much. When you out there serving the community, that's the type of man they tell you to look out for. He for the streets. I'm out there doing community service. I did some community service bingo. Saturday, my son had his final basketball game of the year. They win a tournament. They managed to end the season all defeated. They ended the season all defeated. They had nothing else to do. We'll go out there and lose them all. And I'm gonna tell you right now, if you're gonna lose a game, lose all of them. Don't be ridiculous and just lose one. Oh no, sir. Once you start losing, lose all of them. And that's what they did. They were perfect in every way. They managed to not win not a single game. And so they had their final game, and it was at 8 a.m. And here's the thing. This is where parenting becomes difficult. This is where it becomes difficult. When you got an all-defeated team and you knew they probably weren't going to win, it's hard to get up for those early games. If they got a 1 p.m. game, it's cool because you're already up and about your day. You just throw that in your schedule. But they had to get up, and it was an away game, so we had to travel a little bit. So you got to get up 6:30 in the morning, be able to get there. It's a lot more difficult. If they were playing for the championship, I wouldn't have slept that night before. My daughter's soccer team, her last soccer team that she played on, her last soccer team, they was in the state championship 2 years in a row. It was easy to get up for that state championship game. It was easy to get up. We had to travel to Richmond for the state championship. It was easy. It wasn't hard at all. You got up, you made that trip. But when you're on the other end of the spectrum, no matter how good of a parent it is, it's difficult. It is difficult to get up early in that morning. You want to support them, but it is hard. It is hard. But big shout outs to him and all his teammates for playing the entire season. They played every game. So got to give them credits for that. You got to give them credit. You got to give them credit for playing the whole season. And it's a building block for them. A lot of them were it was their first year playing. It was middle school ball. Most of the teams they played had all older kids on it. They had all kids that were 8th grade kids. My son's team, had a 5th grader on there. So they had a lot to learn. They had a lot to learn. So hopefully they come back a little bit better next year. Also taller. And hopefully they all grow. Maybe that'll help a little bit. Some of those teams were kind of ridiculous. Some of those teams were a little bit ridiculous in size. Some of them teams I probably would have been a little bit intimidated myself. I like, wait, these kids, first of all, where are we getting all these tall white children from? And this right here, this league here, was the epitome of reverse racism. All the good basketball teams were white. It was crazy. It was ridiculous. I've never seen such. You would have thought my son's team had an advantage because they had 3 black players on the team. They had 3 black players, one of Spanish descent, one of Asian descent. You would have thought this United Nations team was gonna win some games. Wasn't the case. Was not the case at all. It balances out once you get to public school, but when you playing in that Catholic school league, you're not gonna find that blacks taking over. First of all, you're not gonna really find the blacks, but sooner or later we're gonna have to get it together. I'm gonna open up my own black Catholic school just for the black basketball players. I also didn't watch the Wendy Williams special yet. I see a lot of people have been talking about Wendy Williams and talking about how sad it is. I think people even was like they want to take their money out of Wells Fargo after watching the Wendy Williams story. And I was like, I don't even know Wells Fargo approved of that. But they say that the Wendy Williams, Where Are You story is pretty sad too. It's on Lifetime, so I don't know. I don't watch Lifetime. I don't even know how it's possible for me to watch. Do you gotta wait? Is it on like Lifetime on demand? I would never demand Lifetime. I'm a grown man. I don't even eat a whole banana. What makes you think I'm watching Lifetime? What makes y'all think I'm watching Lifetime? I won't eat a whole banana. You think I'm gonna watch Lifetime? No, sir. That led me to Saturday night. Friday night. I had to do it's on YubTub. Okay, I'll check it out on YouTube. Maybe I got a couple of minutes today. Friday night I had to do installation for a pastor. That was great. It was good to see him. The church. Let me tell you something about the African American church. Y'all terrible with y'all hiring processes. That man was the interim pastor of that church for 47 straight years. And they finally went ahead and broke down and made him the pastor. They finally broke down. Black churches, they will draw out. There's only 2 ways that secession happens in black church. Either it happens immediately, or it either happens like 6 to 7 years. You just walk through the wilderness with no pastor. Either they do it real quick or they take a long time. Ain't no in between. It don't happen quickly. Whenever they lose their first whatever that pastor is gone for whatever reason, if he retires, if he tragically passes away or whatever happens, it always takes the church a long time. Like the city manager was correct. Always takes the church a long time. They just have you sitting there. And I'm trying to think, if you're the interim pastor, I'm not giving you everything I got. If I'm the interim pastor, I'm not saving all the souls that I can. Y'all not finna make it to heaven and I ain't even get the job. I'm gonna get you into heaven and you ain't even get me the job. I can't do it. Not me. Not the kid. If y'all give me interim pastor, y'all getting these interim sermons. I'm gonna get y'all intermittently in heaven. And the interim pastor, interim job. Which led me, so that was Friday night. Saturday night, I did a party, and I was the entertainment at a private party in Williamsburg. It was done at a slave quarter. Williamsburg is probably the most racist town in America, and not by accident. Not by accident. They just not on purpose. It's by accident. Williamsburg is just because they decided to remain colonial Williamsburg. Colonial times just want the best times for people that were a little dark. If you had a little darkness in you, if you had a little melanin in your system, colonial times want your best times. And so a lot of the stuff in Williamsburg, you still got a lot of plantations in there. There's still a lot of plantations. And so it always rubs me the wrong way when somebody be like, hey, we having an event at such and such plantation. We want you to come and work. So y'all want me, a black man, to come and work on a plantation. If it's a person of Caucasian descent, I won't even accept it. I'd be like, you know what? I can't do it. We're not gonna do it. You're not gonna have me come work for the whites at the plantation. I'm not doing it. I'm just telling y'all, we need to get rid of the name. I was just driving up the street the other day. I had no idea. I'd never seen this sign before. I was driving up the street. Like Virginia, here's the hard part about being from Virginia. My friends who come to Virginia, other comedians or whatever, whoever comes to Virginia and they spend some time in Virginia, they're always flabbergasted at the stuff that we are just numb to in Virginia. I was driving up the street the other day and I never seen this sign. It had a sign and it was telling me how to get to a plantation. That James was like Powell Plantation, take a left. I'd never seen the sign. I had to go look it up. I was like, oh my gosh, there's a whole plantation around the corner from me. I still think the word plantation for a lot of people of color, it's got a little sting to it. Plantation ain't an easy word. That's why I don't even eat them little baby bananas. What are they? Plantains? That's too much like plantation. I'm not call it baby bananas. I'm not calling it a plantain. Call it a baby banana. I'll eat a baby banana before I eat a plantation. And we've got so much stuff here when the battle was raging all over the country about Confederate flags and Confederate statues. We were like, that's normal here. In my city, when they talked about that statue that they ended up tearing down the Confederate statue, it had been up so long that it didn't even matter anymore. We had gone by it so many times. You were so indoctrinated. You were just numb to it. It was just the statue downtown. He didn't even care about it. It was like the statue. He was like, there's a statue down there. It's tall. So it's a tall white man statue. They take you to Jamestown in the 4th grade, let you really see what it was like. Or do they? Like Virginia history is not the best of histories. When you start talking about being an African American, and so people who come from other places, they can never believe that. They're like, man, y'all just got plantations around here. You're like, y'all ain't got no. And you start thinking, no, they probably don't. It's very interesting how your senses can be kind of dulled when you live here, especially if you grew up and were raised here. When you weren't raised here, I think some of it piques your interest. It makes you raise your eyebrows a little bit if they real. Tan say any house or building with big white columns outside are triggering. They gotta be a little bit of your ancestry gotta get turned off every time you see that. Those big houses with the white columns on them, they just look like a slave owner's house. It's just a weird thing that's what growing up in this area is. And I realize that everywhere you go, they teach you the history of your state. If you're a kid in whatever state, when I went to Texas, I realized that the kids all knew about John F. Kennedy's assassination. That was something they had to cover when they were in school because it was important to the history of Dallas, Texas. Dallas, Texas, believing, letting y'all know we killed Kennedy. Okay? Letting y'all children know that right now. Let's go right over there. We can't wait. It's a proud moment. We're gonna take a field trip down there. We're gonna see exactly where Kennedy was killed. There's X's in the street and everything. We're gonna let y'all see it. That's an important part of history. They don't teach that here. I don't even think we go over the fact that Kennedy was killed. I mean, you might have something where they say presidents that were assassinated. You might go over that. We stick with Lincoln. You might go to Kennedy. But overall, you don't really discuss that here. But you're not really gonna go over slavery that way. My daughter, when she went to the Jamestown, almost got us kicked out of Jamestown. But they was like, on a typical day at Jamestown, you would wake up in the morning and begin to come outside. And my daughter was like, well, what would I have been doing in Jamestown? Oh, no, everyone would get up. And the lady was clearly white. My daughter was like, no, what would I have been doing in Jamestown? So, cuz tell me what my black self, would be doing in Jamestown. And she was at a loss for words. She didn't have the words that she was just trying to move on. She just started trying to ignore my daughter's question. We almost got the whole trip canceled. Lakeith said, I'm a genealogy hobbyist. I've conducted a lot of research over the past 18 years. I don't know who does genealogy as a hobby, unless you were just trying to find yours and then it led you to do more. Alabama said, I felt so dumb when we went to Dallas. They kept saying we're going to the grassy knoll. Yeah, you know what grassy knoll? Is that a slang term for a lady's area? She got her grassy knoll. Is that a strip club? The grassy knoll? Is that a strip club? A restaurant? What is the grassy knoll? Does that mean she ain't been shaved? Excuse me, ma'am. Your knoll is grassy. I don't know. I have no clue. I have no understanding. Simultaneously this weekend, all things have a beginning and middle and the end, I believe. You never know when your middle is because you don't know when your end is. You have your beginning, your middle, and your end. For the past, I guess at least a decade. I don't remember. I'm not very good with dates. I don't remember the first time ever I saw your face. It's very hard for me to remember a lot of those things. Most of the time, things in my life I equate to when I first became a father. And so I'm like, oh, that happened this amount of time before I became a father, or that amount of time before I became a father, right? That's just my way of remembering things. Like when people ask me how long have I been doing comedy, I'd be like, I guess I started seriously doing comedy when my daughter was born. So give me 18 years in the game, right? Maybe 20. Let's just round up because 20 sounds cool. 20 sounds cooler than 18. Right? That's how I kind of throw that around. I just kind of throw that around that way. I'm not very good at that. So, but for the last, I'll say at least a decade, I've been attending Mount Lebanon Missionary Baptist Church in Chesapeake. That entire time there, I was under the leadership of one Kim Walter Brown as the pastor and presiding bishop of the church. And in that time frame, man, I grew so much spiritually, emotionally, and just as a man. And this weekend was his weekend where he transitioned, repositioned. He moved to another position in the church. He's no longer the head of the church. And so they had a 3-day celebration for him. I did not get to attend because I was working those 3 days. I didn't get to attend because I was working those 3 days. But it was also one of those things where subconsciously, if I didn't go to the event, he can still be pastor. That's how my mind works right now. He had that much of effect on me as a person in my career, as a person in my raising my children, my family life, dealing with things. When my mom passed and I gave my mom's eulogy, it was for me a bit more easy for me to do the eulogy because I knew he was sitting beside me to the left. And I knew I had a bailout. I knew if for some reason I passed out, I didn't make it up there, I knew he would step in and he got me. I knew he had a eulogy prepared if I didn't. I knew he did. I just knew he was like, let me put this in my back pocket in case he don't make it. I don't see that dude making it through doing his mom's eulogy. But I figured out a way to finish it. And he repositioned, and now his son is taking over the church. I told you there's only 2 ways that the African American church does it. It takes a really long time, was real quick. So his son right there. I went away for a minute. I don't know what happened. See, look at me getting serious, and so the camera went away for a second. My fault. So big shout outs to him as he starts he repositions and moves into a new position, kind of a overseer of the entire operation, no longer doing the day to day. So big shout outs to Pastor Kim Brown. He brought in Swallowed Up. He brought in Pastor T.D. Jakes. Bishop T.D. Jakes came in. They were like, T.D. Jakes gave a word, and I was like, out of all the words, he can't do that. I know Bishop Jakes. Now he can preach almost every service. He can preach he just gotten so popular with that term. He can do any sermon, he can do any Bible story except Jonah and the whale. Because the very moment he does that Jonah and the whale, he be like, and then Jonah was swallowed, and then the whole church is gonna bust out laughing. You can't help but bust out laughing. Like that's the only one. He can't do that anymore. He can't do that. He can't do that sermon. He can't do that. He can't see a group of birds. Be like, what kind of birds are those? Those are swallows. He can't do it. Can't do it. He can't do it. He can only do chewable aspirin. He can't just take a regular aspirin anymore. How you feel like if you go in? Because I just feel like even if you're talking to Bishop Jakes, you can no longer say swallow the same. You now have to draw it out every time you say it. If you be like, hey, Bishop, man, here's some pills, man. You can't chew them. You got to swallow them. I just feel like that's the way you got to go with it every time now. Every time. You just can't do it. They be like, hey, man, let me get some of your drink, man. I don't only want to swallow of that. You're gonna elongate your swallow. Wait a minute. I didn't say that on purpose. No, don't elongate your swallow. No, I did not say that at all. That was not what I said. I apologize to anybody listening. Hear me. Yeah, you can say get ready. You can't be swallowed. It's fun to say though. Like if it really tickles you. You be like swallowed. You cannot be unhappy after saying that. Just walk around your house right now. Have you ever been swallowed? Just notice how you smell. Look at me smiling. You just go swallow. So big shout outs to Bishop TD just swallowed. You gotta give him a big shout out. Shout outs to him and everybody else. It's Monday, man. And so I told you I wasn't gonna do a long show today. It's Monday. Today is the first day of the week of the first show of the Broken Crayons tour that's going on this weekend in Washington, D.C. In Washington, Stanley said I'm gonna have to visit. I'm just gonna have to go in and say hello. I can do a quick hello. If I gotta visit, hell, that's all right. I got some cousins and family members I want to see. But this is the week leading to the first day of the Broken Crayons tour. It's at the DC Comedy Loft, the Comedy Loft DC, however you want to say it, depending on if you're dyslexic. Myself, Vernard Hines is going to be featuring, and it's going to be hosted by the one and only Anthony Oaks. You can go up there and get your tickets at the Comedy Loft DC. You can just put that in the website. It's right there for you. Big shout outs to all the people who already told me they got their tickets. I'm really excited about being there. It's the first tour stop for me. The next week I'll be in Delaware. So if you want to see me in Delaware, I'll be in Delaware the next week with my man Don Hines. It's Don's show, but I'm taking over. But we taking over. No, this is gonna be one of my stops. I'm going out there and doing some of this material that I got for my recording. So that's gonna be amazing. So y'all be there. Be on the lookout for your boy. If I come to a state near you, be on the lookout. Be ready to come on out and enjoy some funnies, some laughter, some ha-has. My man Vernard Hines is amazing. He's an amazing comedian. Anthony Oaks is a great comedian too. So y'all come on out there and get swallowed up at the show. Nope, not doing that. Not saying that at all. Not saying that at all. Anyway, let me get y'all to the word of the day. Let me get y'all the word of the day. Then I got our Black History moment, and then I gotta take one quick second to do something. Y'all forgive me for my last part of the day, but y'all be all right. Today's word of the day is retinue. Retinue. A retinue is a group of helpers, supporters, or followers. The venue relies on a retinue of workers to carry out large events. A group of helpers, supporters, or followers. Y'all are my retinue. Y'all are my retinue. Okay, it sounds too much like written to do. Oh, I'm written you. Every time I close my eyes. That's an amazing song. Because if you really think about the number of times you got to close your eyes, I don't know if he just means to sleep or does blinking count. Every time I close my eyes, wake up feeling so horny. I can't get you out of my mind. Retinue is all I see. I would give anything just for RETIAUE. Retinue. Retinue is all I. Listen, there is absolutely. Everybody loves Jodeci. We can't even lie that like we don't love Jodeci, but there is absolutely no event that Jodeci's voice fits. There's nothing that you could be like, you know who I want to sing at this event? Jodeci. You can't be like, it's a birthday. Happy birthday to you. Who yeah? Happy birthday. No, you can't have them at your birthday. And funeral. Oh, anybody ask you who yeah? Where I'm going, who yeah? The JoJo and Casey's voices are just so rough. You just want to get them a lozenger. You just want to. What event would you have Jodeci come sing at? Temperatures like 103. I let them do the weather one time. We'll now go to JoJo and Casey with weather. Thank you. Temperatures about 103. That's all they can do. Like Jodeci, they voices. So you're having my baby. That's what I feel like. That's what I feel like happened a lot in the studio for Jodeci. There is no event. You can't come down the aisle forever, my lady. They ain't even pretty no more. The wedding ain't even pretty no more. The bride's like, you know what? I'm good. I don't need a song. I love you. That's the jam. I'm telling y'all that right now. If you want to make them cry at your wedding, that's gotta be the song you play when she come down the aisle. I fell in love with you. Oh, no, I found love in you. And once that right there hits, the whole audience starts crying. I'm telling you, fellas, dudes, you can't hold it in either. The combination of a bride coming down the aisle and I found love in you. This is why I love you. Listen, that right there, when they get to that, you done. Everybody's crying. This is why I love you. Everybody cry. My cousin came down to it. Man, listen. I don't know. She looked really nice. She looked beautiful that day. So my cousin came down. She looked beautiful on her wedding day. But I'm telling you, that song right there adds 90% prettiness. Even Miss Netta could have came down that day. Miss Netta would have been like, I found love in you. You would have been like, oh my God. Miss Netta, Bill Cosby Sharp. She looks nice. This is why I love you. Yeah, the tour is going to end in Virginia, Shannon. Thank you so much for asking. It is going to end here in Virginia. So y'all know we'll make sure we get Virginia. The Virginia stop is going to be where we do the recording. Virginia, we were looking at doing it April 6th on my birthday, but then the opportunity for me to be and do some, I haven't talked about it often, but the opportunity for me to go and do 2 comedy festivals in South Africa came up. So I probably will be in South Africa on my birthday. Just crazy. Crazy. March 30th to April the 10th, South Africa. Crazy. Doing comedy in Africa, though. Crazy. African comedy? Crazy. This is why I love you. I got to get at least 6 jokes with. So when I go to Africa, I can talk it. Just so they can have something that they understand. So that's probably why I won't be doing it on the 6th. And if I don't get the opportunity, like it's in the negotiation stage now, I find out March the 1st whether I will be going or not. And if I don't go, just know I'm in here flipping tables like Jesus in the temple. I ain't even finna lie to you. I'm flipping tables like Jesus in the temple. Then something else came up that was pretty big for me too. Africa. There was one other thing. I don't know. I keep forgetting. Now Michael McDonald can sing at anything for me. I keep forgetting. Michael McDonald. So yeah, that was those. So those 2 things happened. And we did a word of the day. Let me give y'all Black History fact before we get out of here. We did a short show today. I told y'all it wasn't gonna be long. And I'm gonna tell y'all why in just a minute. Black History, the Black People's Awards. We do a Black History fact of the day. What happened today? We missed all the days over the weekend, so that works. The Black People's Awards. Today's the 25th. We got 4 more days in the month. It's a leap year, so we get an extra day. Today, Hiram Rhodes Revels, representing Mississippi, became the first African American to be sworn into the United States Senate on February 25th, 1870. That's amazing. Hiram Rhodes Revels. Revels served as a Republican representing the state of Mississippi from February 25th, 1870 until March 3rd, 1871. Now, let's be clear. The Republican Party has changed. This was not Donald Trump's Republicans back then. The Republic has changed. Republicans have done a chip. They've done a whole flip. So don't be like, oh my gosh, he was a Republican. Look at them. He was born on September 27th, 1827 in Fayetteville, North Carolina, to free African Americans. Revels worked as an ordained Methodist minister and served as a high school principal in Baltimore, Maryland. Revels began his political career after moving to Mississippi after the end of the Civil War. It was there that he was elected to the state Senate. While serving in the Senate legislature in Mississippi, he was elected by his peers to fill a vacant United States Senate seat. Upon arriving in Washington, D.C., there was much debate among U.S. senators about Revels serving as a senator. He was seated on February 25th, 1870, by a sweeping vote of 48-8. Upon leaving the Senate a little over a year, Revels returned to Mississippi, where he would become president of Alcorn College. He died on January 16, 1901, in Aberdeen, Mississippi, at the age of 73. Age of 73. The first Black man, and let me tell y'all something. That throws me off. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I listen. Representing Mississippi, am I crooked letter I, humpback I? Mississippi, y'all. Let me apologize to Mississippi. The first African American to be sworn into the United States Senate served as a Republican representing the state of Mississippi. I would have never thought it. Never. Mississippi. I would have never thought it from Mississippi. There's a lot of places. No, sir. Mississippi? Absolutely not. I learned me something today. Mississippi, the first Black man sworn into the United States Senate was there to represent Mississippi. He had to been like, I'm looking at these pictures. You know, you can't tell with these old pictures that he does have a little lighter hue. I knew he wasn't going to go in there. I know he wasn't going to go in there full blacked up. Mississippi won't have that. Mississippi. Well, go on, Hiram Rhodes Revels. See, these are the things we don't learn in school. We don't learn it. They might know it in Mississippi. I doubt they teaching this in schools in Mississippi, but they might learn. I got one friend that is a friend of mine that's from Mississippi. I'm gonna ask her, does she know? Because Mississippi ain't never seemed like the place that was like, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna be progressive in the hiring of blacks. They ain't even saying that in 2024. I don't see that happening in Mississippi. Wow. I'm getting ready to get off the show. I would be remiss if I didn't do social media. Has been, for me, social media has been both a gift and a curse. Social media has helped me financially. Social media has taken away from me financially. I've seen stuff on social media made me go out and immediately buy it. I wouldn't even have known it existed if it wouldn't have been for social media. It made me lose money. Also, because of social media, people have been know who I am. And you know, I've gotten gigs off of social media. People have been able to reach out to me during social media. I get a check every month from social media. Some months is better than others, but I get my check every month. I appreciate it. Once it hits the account, I'm like, thank you so much, Meta. Thank you. But at times now, social media has now become the news source. Now you might have to weed through all of it. It's basically the National Enquirer. So when you read something or see something on social media, you always got to go and look and make sure that is verified, that it is what it says that it is. Yesterday, I was going through social media and I came across a social media friend, and not all my friends on social media are my friends in real life. But I came across a social media post on yesterday, and it was basically a rest well for a friend of mine. It was a rest well to a friend of mine. And when I saw it, you ever seen something that kind of stops you? I was scrolling and I saw it and I stopped and I kind of stared at it for like 3 minutes because I couldn't fathom that person had passed away. Right. And you know, you start being selfish. You be like, well, why she ain't called me? She went out here, died, and they didn't tell me she was gone. It's kind of crazy. Then you start thinking to yourself, like, what if I didn't have social media? I probably wouldn't have found out at all, like, if it weren't for the social media. Because I'm not sure if everybody would have called. And I talked to this friend of mine. I went back and looked at the text. We talked February the 8th, and she had a lot of different health struggles, and she was in the hospital. And I reached out to her, and I had known her to always bounce back from everyone. I had seen her go in the hospital this time and that time. And since we met in college, I'd seen her go to the hospital, come out, go in, come out. She had a kidney transplant, went in, came back out. Dealt with, you know, the dialysis, would go in, come back out. And then even after she had a kidney transplant, she was like, oh, I'm having a little rough time, you know, blah, 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 blah. She would go in, come right back out. And so that was my expectation on this one. Yeah, you're going in the hospital. You needed a couple of days away. You needed to chill out a little bit. So I guess, you know, it was a longer chill than I expected. I know it was a longer chill than she expected. When I texted that day, I was like, hey, is there anything that I could do? You need anything? And she's just like, no, I just really need you to pray for me. Because this one feels a lot different than any time I've ever been in. And so even with it feeling different, I never felt like it was going to feel that different. You know, you kind of look at things a little bit differently. And so this young lady has always been supporting. I was just February the 8th, I was like checking on you. Must say this is unlike anything I've experienced before, challenging my every faithful quote I've said to myself. But each day I'm pushing. And I say, you keep on pushing in. Do you need anything from me? Just your continuous prayers. And so, you know, I prayed because I know my memory is bad. You tell me to pray for you. If I don't do it right then, the chance of me praying for you are very slim. Very slim. Like it's crackheads on Slim Fast Slim. If I forget because I be having so much to do, so whenever I be like, yo, I'm praying for you, I'll stop right quick. Man, Lord, blah, 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 blah. Get that thing out of there. Get that out of there quick. Because I couldn't do it. So it was amazing, man, it was really, I went back to her page and I was like, well, maybe they got it wrong. Maybe they thought she died. Maybe, you know, maybe they talking about hair. You know, when they start, you know, black women, y'all dye y'all hair all the time. It'd be a different color. Y'all run around with ridiculous colors in your head. This is my natural purple. Okay. So got to give a big shout out to my friend Tamika. She was always very supportive. I remember when I was in LA filming Churchy. I talked to her while I was in LA, and she was going overseas to Jamaica for the first time. She finally got in her kidney. She finally got to a point in her life where she wasn't on dialysis every day or every other day, whatever the schedule was. So she was able to start traveling and was able to go to Jamaica. So I really thank God for the opportunity for her to overcome her fears, because she was scared. I ain't never been on no plane. I don't know what I'm gonna do. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm like, man, you gonna go out that jank and you gonna Stella. You know what they say about Jamaica? You can go find it. If there's a place to get swallowed, it's Jamaica. So she went there and she started going all over the place. And I watched over her life. It's so crazy when you kind of reflect back. I watched over her life. If there was ever a contest on the radio, she won it. If there was ever like a ticket giveaway, she won those. She was able to go and experience life in a different way. So I don't want to say that God is unfair. I know God doesn't make mistakes. And I know we always question, like people be like, you know, better not question God. But how can you not question God when he tells you to ask for? The Bible says ask. Asking is questioning. So you can always ask, like, hey man, what was your will? What was your desire? What am I supposed to get out of this? And so that's what I was up kind of late last night. I was up late, sitting there kind of thinking about that situation. How she was able to go through the pain of dialysis daily, then in the kidney transplant, and getting the hope of having a kidney transplant, and then eventually, succumbing. Even though she had the kidney transplant, and it kind of made me just, you get melancholy and you start thinking. And so me, for everything that happens in my life, I'd be like, so God, what's the takeaway that you're giving me? What am I supposed to realize out of all of that? Is one of the things that I realized is her spirit taught me is to embrace right now. To embrace right now. I have a hard time embracing right now. We could talk about me. We could just talk about me personally. I'm pulling back layers that I didn't think I was going to peel back today. But I have a very hard time embracing the right now. I have a hard time finding joy sometime in the current. Just the way that I'm wired. When the TV show came out, when I got blessed to be on the TV show, when I found out the TV show was coming on, I was like, cool. And rather than to take the moment to embrace that I'm doing something that not a lot of people do, that I'm a part of something that is a huge, big dreams for a lot of people. Rather than do that, I started beginning to think, well, what's next? What's the cost from that? I got to get a new email address. I got to get better representation, man. I got to go get a publicist. Like, I started thinking about everything beyond right where I was, and I didn't get a moment to enjoy now. There are still very much so moments in my life where I'm upset about positive things that happen in my life because my mom is not here and I'm not able to go back and tell her. If we can keep it a stat. We can keep it a stat. It hurt me that I wasn't able to be like, hey, Mom, your boy's on TV. And I wanted to be able to see her light up. I wanted to be able for her to be able to see that all of the negative that I went through when I was in my teenage years and growing up, all of those have now calculated into this. I want you to see, I've always wanted my mom to be able to see that it worked, that it was worth it, that it wasn't for naught. Right? So I don't often dwell in the moments. I have a hard time. I have a very, very, very hard time enjoying the moments. It doesn't work for me. I apologize. People be like, man, I know you're excited. Am I though? So I look back over my friend Tamika's life, and that's what I'm going to take. That's going to be my takeaway. And I'm going to tell y'all, it's not going to be something that I instantly get good at. But I'm going to look over her life, and what her life has told me is enjoy the nows. In between moments of her going to the dialysis, if it wasn't a dialysis day, man, she embraced that day. When she got her kidney, she named her kidney. I was like, I didn't even know you could name body parts. She named her kidney Lucille Rose. I'm trying to think of which body parts I would name and what names would I give them. You know what I'm saying? Be like, well, what am I name? What am I name it? I would probably, you know, I ain't right. I'd probably name a member. Probably name my twig and berries, the tackle box. I would probably name that. Then I could tell my wife every time. I'm like, hey, you seen the doctor today? That's what I'm gonna name it. I'm gonna name it the doctor. Oh Lord, I done got froze. I didn't even know I was frozen. See how dirty that is? They freeze you when you're not looking. They freeze me looking up towards the heavens. If y'all still watching, I'm coming right back. I just gotta get on the secondary device. It was almost time to wrap up anyway, but I'm gonna go ahead and get on. So confuzzled, I can't even get myself together. Yeah. Let me get my life together. I apologize, y'all. I wasn't expecting. I thought IT was gonna let me make it all the way through today. And they didn't. They dirty out in these streets. They dirty out here in these streets. So anyway, what was I gonna tell y'all? Oh Lord, they froze me up with no picture. That's crazy. All right, so now that y'all can hear me, y'all know that I'm here. That's my message for today, man. I think that Tamika she was always fussing because I wouldn't make her a part of college. So I think that we got to learn to embrace the right now. We got to learn to embrace the right now. We got to learn to embrace the today. Find a way to embrace your today. And I know we still got a plan for the future. I know that today ain't our last day. I know we still got a whole lot of stuff that we still got to deal with. But for somehow, some way, find a way to embrace your today. Find a way to realize that it's all good. That you still got a lot of promise. That today is a gift. And so we got to enjoy our gifts. Whatever that gift is, the gift of just one more day is so worth embracing. And I'm telling y'all, it's going to take me a minute to get it right. That's just me. I'm going to be honest about me. Sometimes because I'm a man, I'm not supposed to have plans. You're supposed to have a future. You ain't supposed to be just walking through this life willy-nilly. They tell you, take control of your life. Know where you're going. Yeah, I get all that. But try to figure out a way to just enjoy today. Even if it's just for a few moments out of each day. Just be like, hey, man, I got these 30 minutes. Man, I'm enjoying myself. I'm happy for these 30 minutes. Even if it's on your ride to work, if you could just find a way to make that fun. Decide that you're a NASCAR driver on your way to work. I'm a NASCAR driver. I'm driving NASCAR. Make kid noises. I like to make my car dance. If a song comes on that I like, I'll move the steering wheel. We'll be dancing. Car dance. It's probably dangerous. Probably make my insurance rates go high when they hear this. But to try to find a way to enjoy life, man. Enjoy the day. So to me, I know, we were friends and we didn't talk as much as we should have. Because that's what you do when you're friends. You just take for granted they always gonna be there. That's what friendship is about. You be like, oh, they finna be there. I'll talk to them next week or something big happens. And then something big happens. We ain't really prepared for it. But Tamika, from your life, the what your life has imparted on me is to enjoy the moments. Learn. Yep. But that was it, man. I'm gonna let out Sasha. I'm reading it. I can't post all of that because it's gonna take the whole screen. It's gonna be across my polo bear. Look, now my bear's gone. Make sure we enjoy the moments, man. Y'all know what we do with Mondays. We master our Mondays, man. Because if we master Monday, the rest of the week can't do anything. The rest of the week be like, oh my God, look what he did to Monday. You think Tuesday's gonna come in there and act up after they saw what you did to Monday? No. So we get out here. We're gonna embrace our Monday. We're gonna roll with it. We're gonna have a great time. Master our Monday. So y'all have a fantastic Monday. Y'all remember to make somebody feel good today. even if that somebody just happens to be you. I'm telling you, make somebody feel special today, even if that somebody just happens to be you. I think you can do it. God willing, if the creek don't rise, I'll be back here again on Tuesday so that we can embrace another moment together. If you get out there, man, do your best. Stay away from paint today, fellas. If your woman comes in and she wants to paint, tell her no. Tell her like, no, we ain't painting nothing. We staying away from paint today, fellas. No paint today, and no swallowing. No swallowing. LeBerry saw T. Murph last night at the Laugh Factory. Hopefully it was great. Sasha said it's too cold. It's not too cold, man. It's unless you in the D, it's cold in the D. Everywhere else you can get out there and enjoy the day. I'm telling y'all can, man. Listen, y'all know what it is, man. Why not me? Y'all look for the clothing line. Why not me? It's on the way. Why not me? There's so much greatness out there, so much amazing stuff that you could do. Why wait for somebody else to do it? Why not me? Let it be you. Let it be you today. Go out there and swallow. I'm out, man.
Kick your shoes off, take a load off. Don't go nowhere till the show's off. Oh, you know it's gonna be a movie when you back play this Cassidy on your TV. Yeah, already know Mr. Funny Man. Coming to you and making you laugh again. Started off on the radio, now we got the Cletus Cassidy Show. Funny Man, coming to you and making you laugh again.